Hi everyone, welcome to Pilates. I'm Kath McDonald, a community health nurse, and if you haven't done Pilates before, I'd like you to be very gentle with your body, follow along as best as you can, but work within your own comfort zone. And certainly if you have any acute injuries, maybe watch until you get clearance from your doctor, particularly if you've got neck or back issues that you are working with. So, Pilates, let's stand, feet hip width apart, nice and tall, shoulders back and down, lifting up our pelvic floor, pulling in the band of muscle that travels around from our back between our hips, our transverse abdominis muscle. So I'm going to call that the T-zone. When I say lift your T-zone or work your T-zone, we are pulling in our pelvic floor, we are drawing in the lower belly muscles, the deep lower belly muscles. Okay, as we breathe in, we're going to take our arms above our head, drawing in our T-zone, and as we exhale, we'll float our arms down. And again. And down. On our next breath, if you'd like to go up onto your toes, so slowly. And exhale as you lower down. Inhale, engage the T-zone. Exhale, down. We'll take one more breath. And down. Okay, I'd like you to go into a wide stance. So feet as wide as far apart as they can be. Toes are pointing outwards, hands on our hips. We're now going to turn our right foot out slightly more, and we're going to lunge in the direction of that right foot and up. So our knees travelling in the direction of our big and second toe. Inhale as we go down, exhale as we come up from our lunge. Then if you'd like to add in an arm, inhale, arm over the head, pointing in the direction of the knee we're lunging towards. Exhale, coming up. We're just working with one side. And exhale. We'll do 3 more. All the while engaging our pelvic floor and our lower belly muscles, so pulling it in nice and tight. That might be 4. So come back to centre. Hands on hips, turn slightly to the other direction. So we're going to lunge to our left. So inhale, lunge. Exhale, come up. Our other leg remains straight. And then if you'd like to add in an arm over the head, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then we'll come up to standing. Excuse me a minute, I'm just going to adjust that light because I'm nearly getting blinded. Okay, taking ourselves into the wide-legged stance again, hands on our hips. We're just going to inhale, raise our head above our hands above our head. Exhale, we're going to squat, reach down, touch towards the ground. Inhale up, exhale. The spine straight, head above heart, above hips, bending our knees in our squat. Exhale, down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And inhale up, the arms above our heads, and then bring them back to our hips. Walk our legs together and take ourselves to the back of our mat. Again, standing tall, drawing in the T-zone, shoulders back and down. We're going to inhale, start rolling down. So curving the head, curving the shoulders, pulling the belly button up under the rib cage as we roll over. Inhale at the base. Exhale, we're going to walk ourselves out to a full plank. Shoulders above our wrists, and then we're going to tuck our tail back and walk ourselves back do that 4 more times. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, walk out to our full plank. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, walk back. Inhale, prepare. And exhale, roll up. Off we go. 3 more times. Pause just for a moment out here while you take your breath in your full plank. And then walking back. And we have 2 more. Walk out. And walk back. Last one. And coming up. Hopefully that's warmed you up a little already. Alright, standing up again. If your mat's a little bit thick, it might be easier to come forward on your mat slightly. We're going to balance our weight into our right leg. So feel all 4 corners of our right foot under our big toe, under our little pinky toe, and back corners of our heel. And then I want you to lift your other leg off the ground just a little bit, and then just some little squats. So try and make sure the knees in line with the big toe and the second toe, not going out, not turning in. And then we're going to put our weight into our right leg, a micro bend in the back of the knee, so don't lock it out. And then we're just going to draw some circles with our left foot on the ground. Trying to keep our hips level, our T-zone engaged. A slight bend in this right knee and reverse the circles. Whoops. Wobbles are part of the plan, and then we'll bring the left foot down. Some squats on the left leg. So get the weight spread evenly over that left foot, lift the right, and then lower to wherever you can, sitting your butt backwards, feeling the squat in your left thigh and your butt. And then come up, a slight squat in that left leg and circle our right. Just drawing a circle just above the floor. And reverse the circle. And we'll bring our right leg down to the floor and stand up. Good. Let's go back to the back of our mat again. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, engage the T-zone and roll down. We're going to walk our hands out to downward dog. So hamstrings can be bent here. We're pushing away from our palms, nice long spine, and then begin to straighten the legs as much as you can. There may still be quite a bend in them. Really pulling up the belly button up to the ceiling, drawing the shoulders away from our ears. And then I'd like you to take your left leg up in the air, trying to keep the hips level, and then I want you to make some small pulses with that left leg. And then we'll place that leg down onto the floor and lift our right leg in the air. Hips are level and some small pulses. And we'll bring the right leg down and come down onto all fours. From here, we're going to have our knees hip width apart, our wrists under our shoulders, shoulder width apart, pulling up our T-zone, and then we're extending opposite arm and leg. Trying to keep everything reasonably level, as in our hips are level and our shoulders are level, and then I want some pulsing of both the arms and the leg, the arm and the leg. Hand and knee down, and then the same again on the other side. Extend and pulse. And hand and knee to the floor. We'll bring ourselves out into a modified push-up position. So bring the weight of the shoulders over the extended arms, belly lifted, and then we're going to bend our elbows in towards our rib cage and lower our chest slowly to the floor. Very good. All right, hands down by our hips, palms facing downwards, shoulders back and down. We're going to inhale and raise our chest. T-zones activated. From here, legs pushing into the mat, we're going to pulse our hands up and down firmly from the shoulders, straight arms, for 10 long breaths. So breathing in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it going. In for 5, out for 5. Chest lifted as much as you can, shoulders pulled back and down, arms pulsing firmly up and down. We're really working the muscle in the upper back of our arm, the back of our upper arm, your triceps. You may be able to feel that already. Couple more breaths. Two more. And then resting down for a short break. Okay, we're going to inhale and lift our chest and hands, reaching our hands backwards like we just did, and then aim to lift both legs. So a locust position, and then I want you to flutter kick your legs up and down. So small kicks, pretend we're in the Olympics. Breathe away, keep drawing in that T-zone. And then we relax our legs down and rest our head down to the mat. Okay, coming up, pushing ourselves up into all fours again. We're going into some wide-armed push-ups. So the hands will go wide, at least as wide as the mat, maybe even outside of the mat. Now we could stay in a box shape where our hips are at right angles, and as we take our chest towards the floor, as we inhale, the elbows are coming out to the side. As we exhale, we're pushing up. Belly pulled in. You may choose to come forward into what we call the modified push-up. so that we've got a straight line from our crown of our head down to our tailbone, or you could come from your toes. So we are just going down as we inhale, exhale, push up. No belly sag in the middle and up. It's not a belly exercise, it's a shoulder chest exercise. You may go all the way to the mat, or you might just do smaller push-ups. So just do a few more. And when you're done, come back into child's pose, sitting the tailbone towards your heels, stretching out your arms overhead. Okay, and then we're going to make our way over onto our bottoms. Sitting onto your bottom, right up high on your sit bones. So your sit bones there at the bottom end of your pelvis. Feet planted on the floor, hip width apart. From there, we're going to sit as tall as we can, shoulders are down our back, chin slightly tucked, we haven't got our head hanging back and shortening our neck. Then we're just going to inhale, prepare, exhale, pull in this T-zone, pull in the lower belly and roll back. Hands can be under the thighs or at the sides of the knees. Inhale back here, exhale, curl up. Inhale back, prepare, exhale, back again. Inhale, hold, exhale, curl up. We'll do one more of those. Inhale, prepare, exhale, back. Inhale, prepare, exhale, curl up. Okay, this time we're going back. We're going to stay in our hold position, leaning back. And from there we're going to roll our arms. So inhale, prepare, exhale, roll back. Inhale, exhale, we're pulling as though we're rowing a boat. Palms facing in, fists clench, pulling the elbows back beside the ribs, even giving a squeeze back there as though we're rowing a boat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, roll up. Sit tall. And then you can hang over your knees for a moment and just give yourself a rest. Okay, sitting up tall again. We have one more roll back. So inhale, prepare. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, arms up in line with your knees. Exhale, open the arms out to the side. Inhale, bring them back together in front of you. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Exhale, hands to knees and roll up. And sit tall. Good job. Extend our legs, Pilates stance. So toes are pointed, thighs are wrapped underneath towards our buttocks. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, drawing your T-zone and curl back until you are laying down. Placing one vertebra at a time onto the mat. Bring our knees up towards the ceiling, feet hip width apart on the mat. Inhale, drawing the T-zone and take the lower back towards the mat. Imprint the spine towards the mat. Once that spine's there and the T-zone is engaged, bring one leg up at a time into tabletop, which is where our lower shins are parallel with the floor. Inhale, place our hands near our hips, off the ground, straight arms. And then as we exhale, we're going to take an arm up over our head. Inhale, bring it back to the hips. Exhale, the other hand over our hip. Inhale, back to our hips. Keep doing alternate arms. The whole idea is to keep your T-zone engaged. Keep your ribs flattening down towards your hips so we're not popping the lower back up into the air and the ribs up into the sky. Okay, leave the legs in tabletop and the hands near the hips. And then inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders, reaching the hands away from you, towards the toe direction. From here, we're going to pulse our arms up and down in hundreds, breathing in for 5 and out for 5. In for 5, out for 5. So looking between the knees, strong arms. We do this for the count of 100. And keep the arms still, release the head down to the mat and take the feet to the floor. Just have a moment's rest. Now your choice now for abdominal crunches, whether you keep your feet on the floor with knees bent, or your option 2 could come into tabletop. Option 3, the legs could point towards the ceiling. I'll take option 1 for starters. Hands near, fingers near our ears. Elbows wide so that we can't see them with our peripheral vision. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift the head, lift the shoulders, slide the ribs towards the hips, flattening the belly, pulling and activating the T-zone. So pelvic floor's in. And then inhale, we lower down. Exhale up. As high as you can go. No pulling on the ears. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Continue with your option. I'll just show you tabletop. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Third option was feet towards the ceiling. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. And we have one more. And down. And then rest everything back down onto the mat. Okay, we're going into single leg circles. So taking your left leg up in the air, right leg can be bent or straight along the floor on your mat. I'm going to stay with the bent option. Straighten the left leg into the air as much as you can. Reach the fingers away from your shoulders so that your shoulders are resting down the mat towards your buttocks. And then as we exhale, we're taking our single leg towards the floor and then inhaling up in a circle. Now you don't have to do a big circle. The main aim is that we're keeping our pelvis and torso still. So as big a circle as you can do without wobbling your torso everywhere. Your other knee or leg, straight leg, should remain motionless. Reverse the direction. 3 more. And place that foot back down onto the floor. Take a breath, and then we will exhale our right leg in the air. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, down the midline. Inhale, up and around the outside. Exhale. Ribs are flattening towards hips, not popping up towards the ceiling. Reverse the direction. Sometimes there's some hip clunking, which as long as it's not causing you pain, anything that causes you pain you should desist. Sometimes it's just a little bit of maybe ligaments rolling over each other, but if there's any pain, please stop the exercise. And we can bring that leg down to the mat. And maybe now just hugging your knees, grabbing behind your knees and hugging them to your chest, and just having a rock from side to side. And placing our feet down on the floor, we're going to set up for tabletop again. So engage your T-zone, imprint the lower back towards the floor, one leg at a time into tabletop. Now you can choose to leave your head and arms and shoulders down on the mat, or you could lift your head up into the air, towards the ceiling, and just rest your head in your hands. Ribs to hips, belly pulling down. And then we're just tapping one leg at a time towards the floor. Keeping everything else still. The movement is only in the hip. The knee stays at the same angle. We're not flopping the foot towards the mat. We're taking it out the same angle under each knee as it goes towards the floor. Come back into tabletop, and instead of toe tapping down, we're going to straighten one leg towards the roof and then back to tabletop. Other leg towards the roof, back to tabletop. Again, head up or head down. Make sure if you've got your head down on the mat that you've got your chin slightly tucked so that you're lengthening the back of the neck. Keeping the belly engaged. And coming back into tabletop. Option again, head up or head on the floor. We're doing double leg lowers. So tapping both feet towards the floor and up. Now you may not touch the floor. You may just go out a little bit and feel there's enough work happening here in your tummy that if you go all the way, you're actually going to arch your back or strain your back too much. So inhale towards the floor, exhale, draw them back. And then grab behind the knees, hug the knees to the chest, and this time draw a circle with your knees. One way, and then reverse the direction. And then place the feet back onto the mat. Straighten your left leg, bring your right leg up towards the sky. Now you can choose again to have your left leg straight or bent. we're going to, the foot that's pointing towards the sky, we're going to flex. So push up through the heel, point the toes down towards your nose. And then we're just lowering that leg with control, with our T-zone activated, our ribs flattening towards our hips, nearly towards the ground, and then lift up again. And then repeat. So slowly down, slowly up, keeping the pelvis very still. Last one. And then we'll place that foot back down onto the mat. Getting ready for the other leg. Again, the right leg can now be bent or straight on the mat. I'm going to have mine bent. The other left foot points towards the ceiling and then flex the ankle. So heel, push through that heel, lower. And lift. Feel the stomach contracting, almost like we've got a mini crunch happening, ribs sliding towards our hips here, keeping our torso still. Last one. And rest that foot back down onto the ground. Okay, we're going to do some abdominal reverse crunches, but with eagle legs and eagle arms. So, crossing your right knee over your left. If you can tuck the right foot under the left, do that as well. So you've wrapped your right leg over your left. Take your right arm and take it under your left, and then join either the backs of your hands or your right. So that is wrapped as well. From there, we are going to inhale, prepare, exhale, bring our knees and elbows together. So we're lifting our shoulder blades, and we're also drawing our knees towards it. Inhale, open apart. Exhale, crunch together. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, open. Crunch. Pulling in that belly. And we'll do one more. And release. Untwist. Untwist the legs. And wrap the left leg over the right and under. Sounds like a reef knot. Left arm under the right elbow and wrap, palms together. Inhale, prepare, exhale, crunch. Inhale, open, exhale, crunch. 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 Two more. And release the feet down, unwrap the arms and unwrap the legs. Great job. Okay, let's bring our heels right up next to our bottom, as close as they'll go. Little cramp. And have them hip width apart. So if you look up, if you glance down, your hip bones, your knees and your ankles are all in parallel lines. Hands by your sides, by your hips. We're going to tilt our pelvis so that our lower back comes to the mat, and then we're going to push up through the legs, lifting our hips. Inhale, prepare at the top. Exhale, we're going to curl down from the top of our spine, so we're drawing in this belly. and lay the spine back down on the mat, and then come back to our neutral flat pelvis. Again, tilt, lift, and down. Really working those abdominal muscles. This time we're going up and we're going to stay up. So tilt the pelvis, push up. Make sure those ankles are under our knees. Lift our hips high, so we've got a nice straight line from our shoulders through to our knees. Then starting with our left knee, we're going to lift the left foot off the ground and bring the knee towards our chest. And touch down. In, touch down. A lot of work happening in the right hand side. In, touch down. In, touch down. Two more. In, down, in, and place that left foot down onto the mat. Reset, ready for the right knee to come in. In, touch. Keep the hips high. In, touch. In, touch. Three more. And place that right foot down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lower down to the floor. And let's extend our legs. Take a breath or two. From here, we are going to Pilates stance our legs. So our toes are pointed. We're wrapping our thighs around towards our butt cheeks. We're going to inhale, raise, make sure we've got our T-zone activated. Raise our arms above our head, not dropping them back so far that we're popping up through the ribs and lifting our chest. So mine only go to a fair bit off the floor. Keeping these ribs sliding down towards the hips. As we exhale, we're going to bring our arms forward, lift our head, lift our shoulders, and roll up. Keeping our pelvic floor pulled in, keeping our lower belly pulled in. And we're going to roll forward, reaching our arms parallel to our legs. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, start rolling. And roll that spine back down onto the mat, making sure our shoulders come down as we go back. And again, inhale, arms over, exhale, roll up. Squeeze those inner thighs together. And rolling back, we'll do two more. And this time when we roll up, we'll roll forward and then we'll come up sitting upright, shoulders down our back, and we're going to stay upright. Okay, and we're going on to do some work on our side. First of all, we're going to do an elbow side plank. So, as long as your shoulders are okay, we're going to bring our shoulder directly over our elbows in line with the rest of our body. So we're making a straight line from our feet to our hips to our shoulders over our elbow. If you cannot do, or you don't know whether you can do a full side plank, bend your bottom knee foot behind you. Top leg can stay straight. And we're going to lift our hips up. So we're actually doing a plank, slightly modified from our knee. And then we're going to lower our hips towards the floor and pull up. T-zone on, lower. We're not sinking down onto the mat. We're not sagging through the waist. We're lifting and lowering. Lifting and lowering. Keep going if you're from your knees. If you are doing a full plank, you could have one foot stacked in front of the other, or the feet can be stacked on top of each other, and we're lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. 3 more. And lift and lower all the way down to the mat. Okay, from here we are going to come up onto a straight arm, extend our top leg, come onto a knee so that we're in the modified plank again. Top leg straight, top arm, fingertips at your ear. From here we're going to bring our knee towards our elbow. So elbow to knee and back. So it's a crunch in the side of our body, trying to keep strong through the lower waist. And release. Bring yourself all the way down onto your side. You can prop your head onto a bent arm, or you could rest your head on an extended arm. We're going to extend our legs slightly in front of us, just so that we can see our toes. Wow, we've nearly got a cyclone happening out there, it looks like. All right, from here we are going to lift our top leg up hip height. So not that far off the ground. Turn our heel, keep our foot parallel to the ground, and we're just lifting and lowering that leg. Keep the belly switched on, keep the top hip stacked over the bottom hip. Come back to having our foot above our lower leg, and then we're going to tilt the toes towards the ground in front of us. Take it back to starting position and then touch down behind us. So you'll get an opening through the front of the groin here. Come back to the start, touch at the front, internally rotating, back. Actually, we'll take our heel towards the mat behind us. Internally rotating here to touch at the front, externally rotating heel towards the mat behind us. Keep our belly switched on. Hot potato, this is called. Hot potato, hot potato. And come back to our starting position and lower down. Okay, we are going to bring our top leg and place the foot behind our bottom leg knee. Knee of the top leg is pointing towards the roof. The bottom leg is extended as long as we can and a pointed toe. We're just going to lift and lower that bottom leg. And relax that leg down, extend both legs. We're going to make a straight line again with our full length of our body. Keep our belly switched in and lift both legs hip height. Now we're going to slowly scissor our legs forwards and backwards. Bring our legs back together, lower to the mat and lift. Lower and lift. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Give yourself a clap. And we'll make our way up and onto the other side. For our initial side plank, lower and lift. Again, from the knee, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift. Or full plank, lower, lift, lift, lift. 2 more, lift, and last one, and lower. Making our way down onto the floor. We're going to extend our legs out straight, lift our top leg up hip height, and then just lower and lift, keeping our body firmly in a straight line. Keep our T-zone activated. Bring the foot back hip height, touch down in front, back to the centre, touch the heel down behind, centre, hot potato. Two more in front, 1, 2, behind and back we come, and down. Taking our, I feel like there's something missing here, but we'll see how we go. Take our knee behind our front leg, point the knee towards the ceiling, keep the belly engaged, lift and lower the bottom leg. And lower down. Good. Okay, extending both legs out. I do believe there's something missing. We will bring our both legs up into the air, double leg lift, and then scissor backwards and forwards. I need Chris or Barb here to help me. Remind me what I've done. Bring the feet back together, double leg lower, double leg lift. And relax them down. Again, give yourself a clap. We might be walking around in circles because I believe I missed one thing on that side, but never mind. Let's take ourselves onto our back for a stretch before we finish. Okay, both knees are bent. Place your left ankle onto your right knee. Take both hands and grab your right thigh and draw it towards your chest. You can lift your head up if you'd like, but you can have it rested down. Pull that knee in as much as you can. You can have some slight pressure against the left knee with your elbow, taking it away from you while drawing in the right thigh. You'll feel this stretch, hopefully. The target area is your left hip. And release the right knee down. Grab the left knee and to bring it towards your chest. Hug it in with your left arm as close to your side of your rib cage as you can, and then start to straighten the lower leg. So pull the lower leg. So we're keeping this rib-thigh connection here, but we're starting to straighten our leg. So my leg's not straight, but I'm feeling the stretch now from my buttock, right behind the knee, right up into the calf and even into the Achilles here. If you'd like to straighten the right leg, that will just add to a little bit of a stretch through that right front of hip. And then we'll release that leg down to the mat. Crossing our right ankle onto our left knee now, we're going to take our hands and grab our left thigh, pull it towards us, towards our chest. And release. Bring our right knee into our chest, hug it in as close to our rib cage as we can, and then with your left arm, start to straighten. You can use both hands as long as you're trying to keep this rib-thigh connection. It might not be touching, but as close as you can. Straighten the left leg if you'd like. And some nice big breaths are always very rejuvenating when you're stretching. Imagine that breath going all the way to the tight muscles. A lot of the beauty of exercise modalities like Pilates and yoga and yin yoga is our focus on our breath. We tend to breathe very shallow during our day-to-day life, and just the focus on breathing, inhaling and exhaling is really so beneficial in so many ways. And let's release that leg. Get us all to roll onto our side into a fetal position. So hug the knees up, have the arms extended out in front of you, palms together. And then all we're going to do then is open our top arm to the other side of our body. It might go all the way to the floor, it might hang in limbo in space. But we're getting a stretch through our chest, a twist through our spine, a rotation through our waist. If you'd like to take your head towards that direction of the hand you've taken over to get a little bit more rotation. And some nice deep breaths here. And slowly bring that arm back to the floor, the other hand on the floor, and then we'll roll ourselves onto our other side. Again, curled up in fetal position, hands together, and open that top shoulder up towards the opposite side, and rotate the head if that's comfortable for your neck. Again. Deep inhale. then we'll bring ourselves back onto our side, push ourselves up to sitting, rolling over onto all fours, placing our hands under our shoulders, tucking our toes, lifting our belly and then lifting our hips up into the air, into downward dog. Pedal the feet, heels up, heels down, alternating sides. And then both heels back towards the mat, push away from the hands. And then up on our toes, walking ourselves forward, feet to our hands and hang in forward fold. Let the upper body relax as much as you can. If the knees are still bent, that's okay. Big inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, bend the knees and slowly roll up. Great job. Let's finish with 3 deep breaths in as we inhale our arms up, exhale, float them down. Inhale and exhale. Our last breath for this program. Thanks for joining me. Our live class is back on tomorrow. So we won't have any more online classes for a little while, we hope, unless we go into lockdown again. Thanks for joining me, and feel free to come back and do this program. It will be uploaded onto YouTube, Eden Hope Hospital YouTube channel, that you can go back and do at any time. Thank you.